YouTube, what's up? Refining the knowledge itself and not playing hot potato with it. Like with any art, it'll flow through you, flow through your vessel or your shade, and you refract that vibration and express it. Some people they have the house where they can fine-tune this knowledge of self, refine it, attach things that are, metaphors and experiences that are relative to this time, and apply it to that knowledge of self, which is timeless. That is the only thing that art is. That is the art of facts. So some people can refine it, expand on the perspective of it. If you're playing hot potato, you're just not yet content with being content, because you're full of the knowledge of self, and it's just your cup overfloweth, and you're overstuffed. So you just let it go. You let it out. So just becoming more whole each day, you get better at refining the knowledge of self. So when we give our essence, like I'm giving my essence right now, when I give our essence like this in exchange for residual returns, you get it in pieces. You get everything in pieces. Instead of, this is what happens when you're not content with being full of the knowledge of self. So you, instead of just being satisfied with embodying the principles and attracting and controlling expression in daily life, you're now, just constantly being an outlet. Instead of plugged in, being an inlet and embodying these rules and laws in everyday circumstances. Because you look at collisions in everyday life. Look at a collision in everyday life. A real life collision hits way harder than a collision that you watch and live through vicariously, or something that you watch on YouTube. And that's the allure of the collision, the yin and the yang. Just like anybody, you don't want the one side of the collision when it comes to sex that is babies. You might or you might not. But you want the other side of the collision, which is the physical pleasure in that moment right then. And it's a timeless moment. So people only want pieces or fragments, and so that's why everything comes back in pieces and fragments, because it's not refined, it's not whole. So it's just about being content with being content in the moment. And then as the more you become satisfied with the moment and knowing everything is developing as it should be, the more you'll just express the laws of life. And those real life circumstances, real life collisions with people, again, collision or colluding. And people would say colluding they put the negative connotation on it. They don't ever put a positive. They always put negative, like cursing, as a positive and a negative. Like that you can use everything in a positive and a negative way. So with colluding, just a private collision or agreement or combining of fluids. So you just look at it. Just look at that collusion, a combining of fluids. That's pretty much, again, life is based off of a collision of fluids or vibrations. That's it. All we are pretty much fluid or vibration, colliding with each other, creating ripples in the fluid that we're in the melanin, in the amniotic fluid. As if you look at the helical model, as the sun itself being in the fluid or the ether, the melanin, dark matter, whatever, what have you. It's all about that. It's all about being fluid and allowing things to flow through you and not being attached to the flow itself. So that's how you can detach from what you've created. You created these destinations, and you get enthralled with the destination itself instead of experiencing it, observing it, creating more, expanding. You are doing all these things. All these things are being done with this body of energy that's used to cultivate and expand. All those things are being done. All those faculties are being used. Again, it comes down to control.